Intro for the Velvet Story. Welcome to the Velvet Story, where emotions breathe and every word matters. Today, we dive into chapter 27 of our gripping tale Pretend. A chapter that brings confrontations, buried emotions, and confessions to the surface. Listen closely, because sometimes the truth doesn't just knock, it roars. Chapter 27 Hidden. Maan's soliloquy. I was always suspicious about Geet, and now, I am certain about everything. But then, who is Abhi? This question is still banging in my head. Refusing to leave, Geet wants his custody. It's not that I don't like Abhi, in fact, I feel good around him. That innocent voice calling me dad, it tears something inside me, a strange, unfamiliar warmth. But he is Meet's son, and not Geet's, which means, Meet and Geet were never even married? What is happening here? Meera hates Meet. Now I understand why. Maybe he was with someone else. Maybe he married someone else, just for her mother? Yes, that makes some sense now. I need to talk to Geet. And this time, no games. No riddles. Just a direct conversation. End of soliloquy. He's brainstorming every fact, weighing every aspect. What's logical, what's not? What feels right, and what doesn't? He is waiting for a call. Phone rings. Hello sir. Who is he? Maan asks sharply. He is the one who is in charge of this hearing. He is very strict, sir. Who is the other guy who wants custody? Kate Smith, sir. He's the brother of Ali Smith. She was the mother of Abhinav. And, she was married to Meet Singh Rathore. That news hits him like a thunderbolt. They were married? Yes, sir. Anything else? No one is ready to take Geet's case. Why? Maan's voice hardens. Because, sir, this case is very weak from her side. He responds, deep in thought. Scene shift. Geet, first stop crying. You can't win the case if you keep crying over everything. I told him everything, and still, he didn't even budge. How can you expect him to say anything in your favor? Do you think Kate bribed him? No, Geet, he's not that kind of person. Geet, they suddenly hear a roaring voice, deep, furious, and near. Scene shift. Do you know why Kate wants Abhinav's custody? Shortcut to earn a lot of money in a matter of seconds. Means, this property also belongs to Anupama? Sir, what I heard, her condition is not good. And if Abhinav is the only heir of the Rathore legacy. What about Kate? He's your typical greedy man. I've never heard anything positive about him. His life is all about partying and hangovers, that's his only business. And still, the case is in his hands? He's related to Abhi by blood, sir. That's all it takes. I don't understand this thing. Anything else you want to know, sir? Nope, thanks. He cuts the call. His thoughts swirl in silence. I understand so many things now. But still, there's a void. I need to know more. And only Geet can help me with that. But what can I even expect from her now? Another rejection, or more denial? Maan closes his eyes, thinking, waiting. Scene shift. Rayyan, Geet says in disbelief. You're here? But why did you leave us without even a word? Rayyan's voice is laced with anger and pain. Rayyan, I don't understand. To whom should I have given any intimation? Pinky, Adi, and Geet are shocked to see him standing inside her apartment. I thought we were more than friends, Geet. Rayyan says, voice thick with emotion. I am very sorry, Rayyan. I never thought about that. Rayyan, Geet's old classmate. Tall, handsome, charming, once a complete womanizer, until he met her. He studied in the same university before she joined. She never noticed him, or maybe, she wasn't in the right condition to notice anyone. He helped her when she stepped into the university, a fragile girl with haunted eyes. No one dared to bully or even irritate her. Not when Rayyan was around. Rayyan was the son of a multimillionaire tycoon, Rayhansh Blackwood. And because of him, Geet never had to face any problems. Back then, she was drowning in her own misery. She never realized the eyes that watched her. The hands that silently protected her. Really, Geet? Rayyan asked, his tone now anxious, a wounded edge in his voice. Rayyan, I'm sorry if I hurt you. But it was never intentional. Perhaps, Geet, he murmured. Rayyan, please, Geet, I thought you were a nice girl, but you were so ignorant. Ignorant? Of course, Geet, I didn't ignore anyone. Yes, I'm the stupid one. Now I realize. Rayyan, please, can you just say it directly? You want a direct talk? Fine then. The entire college knew that I loved you. His words slammed into her chest, stealing her breath, making her heart thunder. He was always there, now she understood why. Rayyan, whoa, listen to me, Geet. I fell for you the moment I saw you in college. I never expected you to fall at my feet instantly, especially with my past, but I was still happy that you didn't run. I expected the worst, Geet. But you were different. The more time I spent with you, the more I fell. I never regretted it, Geet. But then, you left me. Without a single phone call. Tears pooled in her eyes as his voice cracked. Rayyan, I was not an ignorant person. But that time, my circumstances were against me. She pauses, just for a moment. He's watching her, not just her face, but her soul unraveling in front of him. For the first time, she is revealing the truth behind her broken silence. I hate discussing my personal life, but today, I will tell you. I am, a married girl, Rayyan. I came here with my husband. I married him just a day before. And that very night, he told me our marriage meant nothing. Because he was already married. He just married me to show his mother something. Do you even understand the trauma I went through? Studies, they're my hobby. But what I wanted first was a family, Rayyan. I'm an orphan. A husband, a family of my own, meant the world to me. But that world shattered into pieces. My dreams were crushed. And I was left behind as just a broken piece of glass. A piece no one could, or wanted to, put back together. Her eyes stayed shut, heavy with pain, unwilling to meet anyone's gaze. For the first time, she explained what she went through. And silence was her only answer. I was married just to pretend. To show the world something that was never real, Geet whispered in her mind, her eyes lost in the shadows of memory. My husband told me to live my life, when my life had already shattered like dry sand slipping through my fingers. I had nothing left, nothing but my studies, which, for the first time, felt like a compulsion, a distraction from the reality I didn't want to face. Geet thought of her circumstances, how merciless life had been to her. I was so broken, Rayyan. How could I possibly understand others' feelings, or be aware of my surroundings? Yes, I was ignorant, because I hated to admit the truth to myself. I wanted my husband, only him, and back then, studies meant nothing to me. Her voice was soft, almost inaudible, but every word pierced the air with raw pain. Everyone could feel it. Geet, Rayyan started, but she stopped him. It's okay, Rayyan. Can I ask you something? He hesitated. She looked up slowly. What are you doing here now? Geet took a deep breath and told him about Abhi, about the ongoing custody case, and how Kate was trying to take everything away, including the only piece of light she held on to. Can I ask you one more thing? Rayyan's voice was cautious this time. Do you still love him? After everything he did to you? And you're still caring for his son? He asked, genuinely surprised. Everyone around held their breath. Geet had never spoken about it before. Never complained, never expressed. I never got the chance to love him, Rayyan. But I respect him. Her voice was calm, but filled with an ache that was unmistakable. He ruined your life, and you respect him? He didn't intend to ruin my life. If he wanted, he could have. He could have used me. He could have enjoyed a fake married life with me in India. He could have told lies. But he was honest, painfully honest. He didn't even try to touch me. He was faithful to his love. He was an amazing son, and an amazing husband to Ali. He had so many chances to cheat, but he never did. I was never angry at Meet. I was angry at my fate. Yes, I was jealous of Ali. He had the chance, after her, but he never came back to me. Maybe he still loved her. Maybe he lived in guilt. Geet finally admitted, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. If he asked you to come back, would you go back to him? Rayyan asked. Yes. Her answer was honest, clear, and soul-bearing. A stunned silence followed. No one had expected that. How could you, Geet? It wasn't Rayyan this time, it was Adi, who couldn't hold back anymore. Geet laughed bitterly, at herself. I want my husband, Adi, so desperately that I'm ready to forgive him. Forget that he ever loved someone else. Forget that he had a son. I want something, someone, who belongs to me. I hate this game of pretending. Pretending to be a wife, or being just a name on a paper. I want to become a real wife, his wife. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I want my family, someone I can rely on, someone who relies on me. I want a husband who loves me, someone I can surrender myself to. I want a child who calls me mom. I want a companion, with whom I can share my heart. Because I crave, I ache, to have a family of my own. She said in a voice so full of longing, so raw with vulnerability, it left everyone speechless. Trying to compose himself, Rayyan shifted the topic. He couldn't bear to watch her pain anymore. What's the progress on the case? He asked gently. I spoke to him, but he declined, Geet answered softly. I'll talk to mom and dad. My mom is the best lawyer, he offered. Then, looking at her deeply, with years of unsaid words behind his eyes, he asked. Are we still friends? She shook her head, sadly. We were never friends, at least not me, who didn't even know you, she confessed. It's not your fault, Geet, Rayyan sighed. That's why I fell for you, Geet. Your innocence, your beauty, it attracted me. I never saw the pain in your eyes, or the sorrow in your voice. Rayyan, I don't have any complaints against you. Geet, I never saw you as just a friend. I fantasized about you, and if you ever came to know that, you'd thank God, he laughed softly, seeing her shocked face. You what? I love you, Geet. And with that, he kissed her. Not just any kiss, it was her first kiss. Like a jolt of 1000 watts, it shocked her. Her eyes widened, as did everyone else's. But before anyone could react, before Geet could even process what happened, another presence wanted to storm into the room. Maan, who was standing outside the room and hearing everything. Somehow, Maan had found her address. He had come here to speak about the case, to clear his doubts. But instead, he witnessed a moment that burned his very soul. It cleared every doubt in his mind, and ignited a fury he didn't know he had. That man had just kissed his wife. Yes, his wife. Whether or not anyone else knew an intruder was standing there didn't matter. What mattered was what he saw. Rayyan. Geet pushed him away in pure rage and betrayal. Sorry, I couldn't control myself. I just wanted to have your first kiss. I waited so long, Geet. Rayyan tried to explain, like a fool caught in the act. You didn't have that right. Geet roared, her eyes blazing with fury. Sorry, sweetheart. We'll talk if mom helps you. He grinned and ran out before Geet could throw something at him. She stood there, furious, hurt, ashamed. He snatched her first kiss. A moment she had kept locked in her heart, waiting for the man she truly loved. And now, it was taken, stolen. Geet wasn't just angry, she was guilty, like something sacred had been violated. Outro for the Velvet Story. And with that, chapter 27 comes to a close, on a storm of emotions, broken boundaries, and hearts screaming in silence. What will Maan do now? Will Geet ever reclaim what was truly hers? Stay tuned to the Velvet Story for chapter 28, where truths clash, love trembles, and destinies shift. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we live them.